This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
What's the pace of preparation been like here this week with a few extra days in between games?
Nothing has really changed. We'll give them an extra day off tomorrow, which is a luxury in the middle of the season. But still, our normal routine. We're trying to be everyday dudes and making sure we do the things that are necessary in our process to promote growth and advancement. So nothing's really changed.
Now that you've had a chance to go back and look at the tape and kind of assess the Jacksonville game, obviously played really well in defense, but looking at the response from the game before that, how pleased were you with what you saw on tape?
Well, we had segments in the North Alabama game that were really productive and that were in our lane, if you will. We just had fewer of them, and I think expectations around us have grown in such a way that we can get into a little bit of perfectionism if we're not careful. And North Alabama is a good team that they play really hard. So Tony Pools has done a really good job there. And on paper, Jacksonville, and you guys don't watch the amount of film that I'm sure we do, we had some major concerns about what they do on both ends of the floor. So I thought our guys' response to maybe having a few lapses in the North Alabama game, I thought there were fewer lapses in the Jacksonville game. So I think that's a positive. We all know that we're a work in progress and we have room to grow and develop. But I like the track we're on. And I think when you have a group that is like ours, they're fun to be around and they're really committed. And when you have that, I think it gives you hope that you could have a really special season.
How much different does Lipscomb look this year than last year?
Well, they have a new coach and obviously some graduates, but the misnomer in it is that they're not a really good team. And Hassan Asajala is having a fantastic season. I don't know if you've had a chance to see him, but he's been as good as any player in our league. And when you can play through him, and they do, I think his usage rate is in the top 15 percentile in America. So we'll have to have a good plan for him. But they've got other players that are really good. Buckland's terrific. Fleming is having an outstanding year, and their little freshman guard, KJ Johnson's an excellent player. So, and I'm not going to mention their whole roster, but they present a lot of challenges for any team.
Prior to him being named the Lipscomb coach, how much interaction or how well did you know Coach Acuff? Obviously, there's connection there with Coach Johnson.
I have a ton of respect for him. Most people in the industry have a ton of respect for Lenny Acuff. He's known as an offensive guru. NBA people have gone to visit him. Division I coaches have gone to visit him. He and I had some chats on the road, and I called him frequently. And to his credit, when he knew that I had an opening, he called me about Derek Johnston, and that's been one of the best hires of my career. He's an outstanding teacher. Fabulous hire for us, and we're the benefactor of that. So Lenny Acuff is a terrific person and a really, really good basketball coach.
Going back to the game last year when Lipscomb came in here and, last team to win in the Vine Center other than Liberty, I think you guys are 29-3 since then or somewhere around there. What was it about that game that kind of, helped you guys kind of go to the next level?
Yeah, we had some humble pie during that 40 minutes or hour and 56 minutes elapsed time. I remember it well. I liken it to when we were at Virginia. I want to say it was our fifth year. We got lambasted in Knoxville, Tennessee, against a really good Tennessee team. And I remember meeting in the airport at whatever time in the morning it was when we flew back. And we probably stayed there as coaches, Coach Sanchez, Coach Williford, Coach Seuss. A few of us will remember it well. I think we were there about 3 hours, and just we gotta recommit to some things. And I think our group, I think we did something similar. I think we really got back to who we were and trying to play to our strengths and being about stuff that mattered as opposed to the noise, if you will. And I think that game was it served as a catalyst for maturity. And Not to say that we've got the all the answers or we've got the equation solved, because I think that's ongoing in all of our lives. We all have a quest for emotional and spiritual maturity that if we don't heed to, then we'll eat that same pie that we had to eat. So I think it was good for us, and I think our guys have responded terrifically well.
Coach, I don't know if this is more as, football related with bye weeks, that sometimes getting out of that rhythm of the schedule in the season, sometimes there's a team doesn't perform as well after that time off. I know you guys last time had 8 days off. That's when the first loss came to LSU. I don't know if that was more holiday related, obviously the higher competition, but what types of, do you view this as more benefits that can come from this week between games, or what are some of the disadvantage you could potentially see?
Yeah, fair question. When you can't control it, like, I don't really think about it. Like, we didn't plan for the bye week, and we didn't plan to be 38 days away from between games in the Vine. So, like, those are uncontrollables that they don't find any place in my brain. I think for our guys, I think it's a long season, and the head coach's voice goes eerily faint as the season wears on. So, and it takes a lot to drub up the energy as well. Now, again, we lead an incredibly gifted group of young men, so I shouldn't say it takes a lot. It's fun, but we're constantly trying to challenge them, and we're looking for the best version of ourselves. So I heard it said long ago that maturity isn't represented in one's age, but yet one's ownership or responsibility. And I think our guys rep their work, and I think they own that being an everyday dude. So because of that, I think we're in a good place, and the time off is probably healthy for us. The 8 days before LSU, maybe it was I know in my case, it was probably the holiday desserts that left me a little lethargic. Hopefully it wasn't our guys, but that had a lot more to do with the quality of our opponent. Like, I don't know if they've lost since the USC game. Like, they're really good, and their size can overwhelm you. They're at the guard line. They had unbelievable length. So I don't think we're headed for another one of those, but we won't take any opponent for granted, and we don't expect to show up and win no matter what the percentage likeliness or likelihood of us winning would be.
Being such a long season, for this week, are you guys focusing more on rest, or will you have a practice that simulates a game type feel?
No, we like once we get to this time of year, our practices are practices. We don't simulate games. They get an extra day off, which in the bye week is, I think, wise. But we'll keep practicing the same way we've been practicing. I know that's a coach speak, sorry, but it's the truth. So, yeah.
Anything else?
Is there anything you're doing to kind of help your player Georgie kind of stay focused despite maybe what's happening back home for him?
What's your name?
I'm Ashley. I'm with WDBJ.
Ashley, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Georgie's been here 4 years. It's been a long 4 years, Ashley. He's high maintenance. Like, if you only knew all the things that we had to do just to get him to show up for practice. No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing special. Like, he holds the keys to our car, and he does a terrific job of following the necessary things to be a great driver. Like, he turns his signal on when he lane changes. He abides by the speed limit. He knows when we need some more gas in the tank. So it's a luxury to have him as a head coach. It's a luxury to have a player that has so much ownership in your program and its development. He's really special. Like, I don't know who we play on senior night. I don't want to know. Like, I don't even want to know that date, because these four young men have been. They've made an impact on my life. So, yeah, one of my favorites of all time. But I can say that about a host of these guys. So.